This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, et sec, notice of which was sent to the record and the Star Ledger and was posted by the municipal bulletin board.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, hold on, I need to get the roll call form. Where's the roll call form? Okay, roll call. Councilmember Von Rudenberg is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Battaglia.
Here.
Councilman Carroll.
Here.
And Mayor LaBrus.
Here.
So we have a quorum. So now we can proceed to the flag salute.
Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? Thank you.
Liberty and justice for all.
Excellent.
Proclamations and presentations, what everybody is here for, I hope.
So, we're going to start off with some football proclamations.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, let's have the coaches, please. Could you coaches please come up?
Coaches. Coaches.
All the coaches. So we're going to start out with head coach Gerald Francis. All right? I hope these are right. All right, we're going to go through these. So now we're going to go to the kids. I've got to find yours. I'm sure they're mixed in there somewhere, guys. All right? So if you're here, I want you to come on up. Dylan McKnight. You guys, come on up. Come on, Dylan. Good job, Dylan. Congratulations. Great job. Matthew Miranda. Xavier Cuffey Van Ness. Is he a running back or what? I thought so. Eli Francis. Congratulations. Jace Shelley, are you here? Good job, Jace. Jeremy Duran Williams. Jeremiah?
No, Jeremiah.
My bad.
My bad.
Jeremiah. Adrian Guevara. Guevara. Thank you for that. Congratulations.
I never said it about my name. Marcus Isley.
Gianpiero Chacho.
Phil Mitchell?
Oh, not here.
You like 6'8"?
Not here?
Chacho. Clap for
Chacho.
Chacho.
Jaden Cohen,
I see him every day.
not here. Marquise Easley Jr. I know that name. Definitely know that name. Ain't no way. Congratulations.
Knock him out, bro.
Mason Easley.
Come on, Mace. Hurry up. I said I should take a picture.
Ryan Seraphin.
Clap is better. Get it.
Gonna have to hold you guys down a little bit. Trent Lee Jr.
Trent Lee Jr.
Tristan Midget.
Tristan.
Trayvon Man.
Trayvon Man. Not here. Not Trayvon. What's that? 150? 750?
Chaz Brown.
1150.
Not here.
That's his song.
Clarence is here.
Warren Denman. Julian Gonzalez.
That's Juju.
Carmelo White.
Carmelo. Boom.
Jack Bailey.
Too soft.
Congratulations. Makai Hunt. His pop isn't Rashawn, is it? No? Aiden Morales. Squeeze on down, guys. And girls. Alexander Prussia. Cairo Rogers. Cairo Rogers. Elias Johnson.
Elias Johnson.
Caden Brown. Carter Taylor. Price Anthony Bradley.
Price. Texas.
There they go. Okay. Samuel Shortridge.
about that? Who's left over?
There you are. And on my list, last but not least, Christian DiMaggio. Congratulations. Here he goes.
I'm glad you started.
Thank you, son. Is there any players out there that I did not call that are here?
Yeah, our coaches.
Your coaches, I don't see that. Did you give them the names?
No, I didn't get, was, Savage was, he sent out the email.
Hey, G, we know who we are. We know who we are.
Sure, absolutely.
I just want to say this real quick. Guys, real quick. Alright, now, we won a championship, obviously, right? We won a championship, did it for the city of Hackensack, and I'm gonna be really honest right now with everything. I wouldn't be up here right now if it wasn't for these guys up here. And we're missing one of our coaches, Marcus, he's not here, but we did it the old school way. We did it the Hackensack way. We did it the way we was brought up. And we're trying to like reshape the whole, everything about Hackensack football. It's gonna start from the ground up with us, and we're gonna work our way along with these kids. Even though that a lot of these kids, majority of the kids on our team, they're moving up to midweight and all of that. We're gonna follow them all the way through. So when they get to high school, and hopefully even further than that, I take tickets. So y'all know now. But once again, I gotta give it up for my coaches because, like I said, if it wasn't for them helping me, you know what I mean? We had our ups and downs and all that stuff, but as a brotherhood, we all came together. We all came together because we know what the Hackensack football tradition is about. So I gotta give them more props. I mean,
Thank you, Coach. So I got a proclamation. I want to say a few words before we go on, because he's 100% right. Because I was part of old school. Because I coached the same level team for 5 years. Back in the day, we had 3 championships. We had a really good team. A lot of those kids went on to, when Hackensack was at its best, they went on to win 5 state championships at the high school level. So it starts here. The city of Hackensack Public Schools varsity football team is only as good as the youth program in the city it's in, all right? So, and I can see we're doing the right thing here, right? I just see by the actions I'm seeing up here, you guys are excited about football, you love playing, all right? You got a good sized group here, Coach, that's a good thing. And you got good coaches, all right? And that's the same chemistry we had back in the day when we were winning all those championships in town. So, it's good to see it back. Coaches, sorry I didn't have those, I guess we didn't get the names, so I'll definitely have them for you tomorrow.
Kids
We'll
are
get them
first.
to you. All right, kids are first. Kids are the most important thing. But we have a proclamation from the city, all right? And I'm sorry this got passed by. Had I known, we would have definitely had you here. Absolutely. So it's a proclamation from the office of the mayor of the city of Hackensack, and it reads, congratulations to head coach Darrell Francis and his coaches and the Hackensack recreational lightweight football team going for 11-1 and winning the All-County Football League Division Championship. That's applause, guys. Go ahead. All-County Football League is not a cakewalk, right? I don't know what towns are in it now, but when we were in it, we had some tough towns in there. It was not an easy task. Opposing league coaches praised this group as one of the most dominant teams in league history, and their only loss came at the hands of Bayonne 7-6. So you guys were in a close game, right? So, and therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the City Council, do hereby congratulate the hard work and dedication of these coaches and this team in achieving the 2022 All-County Championship. So congratulations.
Can they do their chant real quick?
Let's see, it's Eric.
What's up, fellas?
What's up,
Come on up here, man.
just want to announce my coaches one more time. Coach Lou, he was my defensive coordinator. Y'all clap it up. Coach Clarence, Coach Seagull. Coach Phil was our everything coach, man. Listen, Coach Phil, he would coach the kids up. He would be, on everybody's hip, making sure, we was all, doing the right thing. Well, the kids doing the right thing. And like I said, Coach Phil, he can talk and make you feel everything about yourself. So I just want to put that out there.
In a good way.
In a good way. In a good way. And Coach Marquise, he was our running backs coach. He was our wide receivers coach. He was our corners backs coach. Our special teams coach. I forget anything, coach. All around coach, man. And Coach Marcus, he's not here, but he was my offensive coordinator, and he was pretty much the whole bread and butter of our offense, with his schemes. And let me say this real quick too. We went back, like I said, we took it back to old school. So we went back to our Hackensack ways, where we actually ran that Hackensack varsity offense. So that's something that we're going to try to keep on doing throughout the program. Keep everything simple manner for the kids, of course. But we just want to have that Hackensack feel when we out here coaching. So, but once again, please give it for my coaches.
Big guys in the back. Big guys in the back. Big guys in the back.
Right, everybody, look up real quick. Big smile.
Just won the championship.
Look up. Big smiles, everyone. Yeah.
That's easy to do now.
Congratulations.
Great job, guys.
That was fun. I feel special. I did something. That was really fun. My name? Marquise.
Better than this.
I'm there every day.
All these kids back to do homework or get to bed, so we're going to let the house clear out. Anybody that's here for the football presentation, you're welcome to stay, but feel free to leave.
Thank you. I'll ask you a real question. I'm going to answer this correctly. I have plenty of tattoos from here down, over the feet. Neck tattoo hurt. Thank you. I'm about to go to my head. Jeremiah.
You don't have to start with I got friends here.
Congratulations, guys.
I got one on my thigh like last year. Maybe I was on my own.
You got the email? I gotta talk to Savage. Savage is supposed to have you in there. Yeah, I gotta get my computer back.
Coach, can you take a picture with him real quick?
I am. I really am.
So, all you gotta do is
The season starts in like 5 months.
Come on. Eat a lot of carbs.
You want to take a picture with your coach?
No, I'm not. Our certificates tomorrow, so I'll have this tomorrow and
So I do have two more quick proclamations that I need to read. Okay, and I see Rabbi Medical is here.
That's a nice picture.
I'd like to read this over. Whereas April 7th, 2023 will mark 121 years since Rabbi Medical
Thank you so much.
Pearson birth. A global spiritual leader and tireless advocate for youth around the world, emphasizing the importance of education and good character. And whereas, in recognition of the rabbi's outstanding and lasting contributions, Congress has established his birthday as a national day to raise awareness that even a single positive act of an individual can change the world. And whereas the educational system, in addition to acquiring knowledge and preparation of a career, must also focus on building character by cultivating universal moral and ethical values, including the values known as the 7 Noahide laws. And whereas the character of our young people is strengthened by serving a cause greater than self and by the anchor of virtues, including courage and compassion. By instilling a spirit of service in our children, we create a more optimistic future for them. Now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with members of the Council, do hereby proclaim the date of April 2nd, 2023 as Education and Sharing Day in the City of Hackensack, and call upon everyone to reach out to those within your community to work together to create a brighter, kinder, and more promising future for all. So, Rabbi, I'd like to present this to you. So it's a busy, crazy night tonight. It's good to see you as usual. How are you? It's good to see you. But for the, you have to be football team, basketball team, so congratulations to you, and we're more than happy to do this. You're welcome. It's a beautiful family. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Then we do have one more proclamation. Poison awareness prevention. It reads, whereas Congress designated the third week in March to be National Poison Prevention Week, NPPW, in 1961 to help raise awareness of the dangers of poisonous medicines, household chemicals, and other substances. And whereas poison centers will focus the public's attention on identifying poisoning hazards and prevention, as old people and even pets are at risk. Whereas most of us all reported poison exposures involve children 5 years old and younger. The majority of poisoning deaths occur in adults aged 20 to 59. And whereas the New Jersey Poison Information and Education System, NJPIES, provides free expert medical advice, drug information, and poison prevention education to New Jersey residents through the 800-222-1222 Poison Help Hotline or chat njpies.org. And whereas we encourage all residents to program the hotline number into their phones because a rapid response can make a difference. Junior Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with members of the City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of March 19th to 25th, 2023 as National Poison Prevention Week in the City of Hackensack. So thank you for that. And with that, We'll move on. We have no approval of the minutes, so we go to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. First, please be advised that as of April 1st, our new recycling center is moving to the DPW, which is located at 120 East Broadway. Registration for our Recreation Summer Playground Program opens on April 10th. Our annual Easter egg hunt is scheduled for April 4th at Johnson Park. Please refer to our website for the designated time for your child's age group. The Recreation Department is hosting a senior citizens spring fling get-together on March 31st this week from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is a free event for all Hackensack seniors. Light refreshments will be served and entertainment is scheduled. Please contact the Recreation Office for your tickets ASAP. Friendly reminder that the city's 29th annual golf outing is on for June 8th. Please follow the link on our website for registration details. Hackensack Police Department will be hosting their 22nd annual Youth Academy from August 21st to August 25th. Please contact the Hackensack Police Department for applications or refer to their website. And last but not least, City of Hackensack is hiring. We're in the need of DPW, some DPW workers, both sanitation and regular laborers. We're looking for drivers, those with CDLs especially, and we're also looking for a supervisor in the DPW. There's also on our website, you can find other positions that are open in the city, and we encourage all our Hackensack residents and those outside of Hackensack to apply and get on the team with Hackensack. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, unless there's no reports of special committees, no special orders, no unfinished business in general order, so I guess we now move to new business. Resolution number 118-23, adoption of ordinance number 11-2023, an ordinance to amend chapter 101 of the Code of City of Hackensack Insurance to establish procedures for the insurance registration required by PL 2022, chapter 92, NJSA 40A:10A-1 et sec. So this now calls for open for public comment. Now, before you do that, this is the ordinance that I mentioned requires an amendment, which is a technical amendment. It is non-substantive. In the ordinance, it talks about the registration requirements and says that for calendar year 2022, registrations are to be submitted. Are you looking at the ordinance?
Yep.
So it says, if you look at, there's a section 101.12 registration requirements.
So it's in 5 different locations. I have six locations I see.
Yeah.
You got this page.
Hang on 1 second here. This is.
It should read, we could amend it so it says, wherever it says 2020.
No, not in the whereas clauses. That's not the issue. That is correct. Those whereas clauses are correct.
Okay.
The issue is in section 101-12 registration requirements in the actual ordinance itself.
Okay.
And it talks about
Calendar year
22, and obviously that needs to be 2023.
Okay.
This is the ordinance that is going to incorporate the new state law that says that all businesses and the landlords are supposed to have insurance and that it needs to be filed with the city clerk. And so we want to say, look, you have 60 days from the adoption of this ordinance to file that this year before you could face some penalties, so there's a bit of a grace period. So obviously that needs to be 2023. So what I would ask for would be a motion to amend the ordinance, to amend this in 101.12 to remove 2022 and replace it to 2023. After you do that, then we can open up the amended ordinance to the public comment.
All right, so I need a motion to amend section 101-12 to reflect for calendar year 2023, not 2022.
Second.
Okay, roll call, Deputy Mayor Canestrino, Councilman Battaglia, Councilman Carroll, Mayor LaBrosse. So now the ordinance is now amended, and now we can open this for a public comment.
Need a motion?
Second.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Canestrino, Councilman Battaglia, Councilman Carroll, Mayor LaBrosse.
Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no members from the public, the motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Okay, so now, public hearing would be closed, so now
Need a motion.
I need a motion to adopt.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Okay, so be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey, that ordinance number 11-2023 is passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted. All right, did I mess that up? We're good so far? So let's see here, because I'm looking here.
119-20.
Okay, I see we're looking where to mark the votes, so intro, second, and yes. Okay. Okay, next is resolution number 119-23. This is a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 13-2023, a capital ordinance of the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, authorizing certain capital improvements and appropriating $1.4 million and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the reserve for the sale of municipal assets in the current fund of the City of Hackensack. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing. I need a motion for the public hearing.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Okay.
Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 13-2023 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Resolution 120-23.
Resolution 120-23. This is a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 14-2023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 168 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Vehicles and Property Abandoned, regarding the city's authority to remove abandoned vehicles on public streets. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Anyone from the public who'd like to speak to resolution 120-23, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public, motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a motion to adopt the ordinance, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Be resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 14-2023 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
120-123.
I have a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 15-2023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 32 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Police Department in order to designate the police director as the appropriate authority under New Jersey law. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Need a...
So that's open the public hearing.
Anyone from the public would like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public, motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be resolved that by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that ordinance number 15-2023 is passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
122-23.
Okay. This is, now we're going to the introductions of ordinances. So this is an ordinance, this is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 16-2023, an ordinance to amend chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Vehicles and Traffic, to have handicap parking space in section 49.2, parking for the handicapped at 37 Broadway.
I have 73.
You have 73? I don't know, on the resolution it says 37 Broadway. Yeah, that's correct. It looks like it says 73 Broadway in the ordinance itself, which I'm going to assume is the correct one. Yeah. And in any event, I'm looking, the ordinance itself doesn't even have the street address.
37 for sure.
37?
Yeah.
So maybe just the title page is incorrect.
Yeah, it says 37 Broadway on the resolution, 73 Broadway on the ordinance. You believe it's 37 Broadway?
Right.
Okay. Well, again, it's an error in the title, but if you look at the ordinance itself, it doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't actually have the street address, so I just think it's fine to move forward. Okay.
Offer.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Councilman Battaglia. Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Okay, be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 16-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 11, 2023, at 8 o'clock p.m. or sooner thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be, and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 123-23.
This is an ordinance, this is a resolution to introduce ordinance number 17-2023, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 48:4-45.14.
Need a motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 17-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 11, 2023, at 8 o'clock p.m. or as soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be, and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. That was 123.
That was 123.
That's right. Okay, resolution 124. Yes,
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 18-2023, an ordinance to amend chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Vehicles and Traffic, to add a new handicap parking space in section 49.2, parking for the handicapped on Haynes Street.
Motion, please.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Battaglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 18-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 11, 2023, 8 o'clock p.m. or soon thereafter, as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and the city clerk be, and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 125-23.
I'm going to take a drink here. This is a lot of talking. I have here An ordinance for, a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 19-2023, an ordinance adopting the 251 Railroad Avenue redevelopment plan within the redevelopment area consisting of block 356, lot 1.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus. Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 19-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 25th, 2023 at 8 o'clock p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Resolution 126.
This is this is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 20-2023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 34 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Public Works Department of, to clarify responsibility for tree planting, maintenance, and removals.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll. Mayor LaBrus. Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 20-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 11, 2023 at 8 o'clock p.m., or soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 127.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 21-2023, an ordinance authorizing conveyance of block 204, lot 5, 18 and 20 Bridge Street pursuant to redevelopment agreement and global settlement agreement.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus. Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 21-2023 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on April 11, 2023 at 8 o'clock p.m., or soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Okay, resolution 120.
So, yeah, so-
28-23.
Yeah, so this, I'm gonna go to the, that's the ordinances, now we go to the resolutions. I have here a resolution authorizing refunds for state board judgments.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second. You need full roll call or all in favor?
I'm gonna do a full roll call, I suppose, for resolutions till we get to the consent agenda. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia. Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye.
Okay.
129-23.
This is a resolution awarding change order number 2, final to Cefelli and Sons for Main Streetscape, Atlantic Street to Mercer Street.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Okay.
Resolution 130-23.
Resolution 130-23 is a resolution awarding change order number 2, final to Cefelli and Sons for Main Street Streetscape, Mercer Street to Berry Street.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. 131-23.
And this is a resolution awarding a contract to Suburban Engineering for FEMA Ida Disaster Hazard Mitigation Grant Design.
Motion.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus.
132-23.
This is a resolution authorizing the introduction of the Main Street Business Alliance Incorporated 2023 budget.
Motion.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Resolution 133-23.
This is a resolution authorizing the tax appeal attorney to settle the cases on the attached list dated March 21, 2023 that were scheduled for trial or settlement.
Resolution 134-23.
We need to have a
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
And Mayor LaBrus.
Resolution 134-23.
This is the resolution to authorize payment of the bills.
Motion made.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Councilman Carroll.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Okay, as we get to the consent agenda, it's not that long. Any conflicts amongst the council? Hearing none, move forward.
Yeah, the following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. The consent agenda items will be reflected in full minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions.
Okay, need a motion to adopt the consent agenda as it is.
Yes. Actually, I guess I should read them all, right? I have to read them all. Yeah, sorry.
I'm missing something here.
Clearly I'm not getting promoted. Resolution in 125-23 is the resolution authorizing endorsement of the 2023 Community Development Block Grants. Resolution 136-2023 authorizes a recreation refund. 137-23 authorizes a leave of absence without pay for police officer Michael O'Neill from February 2nd to April 4th, 2023. 138-23 authorizes raffle licenses. 139-23 authorizes the release of escrow funds for 100 Hudson Street. 140-23 authorizes the release of escrow funds for 320 River Street. 141-23 authorizes payment by the city to Michael Paul pursuant to a previous agreement and general release. 142-23 authorizes the extension of fiscal year 2021 Local Efficiency Achievement Program LEAP Grant Agreement between the State of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, Division of Local Government Services, and the City of Hackensack. 143-23 authorizes the temporary extension of city park closing hours from April 1st, 2023 through October 1st, 2023. 144-23 authorizes and requests the planning board to undertake a preliminary redevelopment investigation to determine whether the delineated area of block 405, lots 3 and 14, and block 406, lot 1.03 satisfy the criteria for designation as an area in need of redevelopment for non-condemnation purposes. This is the Sears site.
Okay, I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda as it was just read.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia, Councilman Carroll,
Aye.
and Mayor LaBrus.
And with that, I need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino,
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia,
Aye.
Councilman Carroll,
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. Those from the public who'd like to speak, please come to the podium. Give your name to the clerk. You want 3 minutes.
I'm Rich Serbo, Spring Valley Avenue. You know, I don't want to start there, but I'm going to end there. It's awful. Those buses are even, they shouldn't be allowed on that road, okay? And the heavy trucks. The posting on the top of the road is, I think it says 5 tons, and those buses are 33,000 pounds there. I'm telling you, it's shaking homes. I bet you there's a foundation damage, and when I find it, I'm going to present it here to you. I'm going home to home on Spring Valley. That road is bad news. The traffic is too heavy. It's very, very heavy, and it's constant, the speeding. They put the digital police sign there, and now it's not working, and they move it from place to place, it doesn't do anything, all right? So I appreciate the effort, but blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, look, I walked in late on Mr. Dibb, but I asked for what he was saying. I like that he presents all the projects that are going on and this and that. But when it came to the end, it was very vague about what they're paying and what that pilot payment is. What's gonna be the end of that. That seemed to be like, oh, maybe it was, or probably, and words like that were used when we started talking about that. So I hope he can, I want to access that too. How do I get that board of all those projects?
On the website, on the redevelopment.
On city website, under redevelopment, okay, that's good. But like I said, when it came to the payments, we pay, our taxes are due 4 times a year, okay? So it's kind of, hey, what's going on with this? And it wasn't clear when you got to that part of the presentation. It wasn't clear about when they're gonna pay, when is that gonna come to fruition for the city? Well, I think we started months ago, years ago, 30 years. There were 30-year tax payments. There were some that were more even, I think. So let's focus on that. I just want to hear what that payment is going to be and how is it coming in. And the last thing is, someone said something about different homes, and she was talking about co-ops or what. But there's no attention to single-family homes in Hackensack. There's nothing. Okay, apartments, yes, great. Oh, more apartments. Single-family homes, there's been no attention paid to, and I'm not sure what that's all about. Why don't we get some breaks? Why not give single-family homes, incentives to fix up their homes or something, something on that level. All right, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. So, just gonna comment to the one part about single-family homes, because I'm a single-family homeowner, have been for 40-some-odd years. With the amount of work we're doing in the city, if we were not bringing revenue in from these pilot programs, I would say my taxes would go up about anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a year, just based on that. So, part of our goal is to bring in revenue from these buildings, and that's what's helping the homeowner. Your taxes are staying low. You haven't had a tax levy increase in Hackensack in 3 years. 3 years, and that's during the pandemic besides. So we were able to keep people's taxes level, all right? Some cases they went down. Some cases they may have gone up, but that's probably because you did, mine, and yours?
Not very low.
I mean, it's easy enough to do. We'll just pull up your thing and see if they went up. If you haven't done any work on your house and you weren't reassessed, you probably shouldn't go up. But overall, the tax levy itself has stayed flat or gone down the last 3 years. So we're proud of that. But that's the point I'm trying to make is this redevelopment is paying for all the stuff that's going on in town, the parks for the kids, the separation of sewers, especially in the Play Street area over by Railroad Avenue where they suffer severe flooding. That's a $40 million job plus. The taxpayers aren't paying for that. Developers say that developers should be paying. The developers are paying in reality because you're not paying. Your taxes didn't go up to pay for that. The money from their developments is paying for it. Same thing with the parks. All these things we're getting accomplished is with developers' money, basically. But we didn't go to them and say, hey, give us $5 million for sewers. Hey, give us this or that. So that's the way in my, it's the only way I can explain it, but I know you have something to say, Kat. Go ahead.
Well, as far as, I think the message maybe that you didn't receive well or didn't come across well, is let's talk about the pilot revenue, all right? On that set of spreadsheets that you saw that you can get from the city website, at the bottom of it where it talks about revenue, it directs you to go to the city budget, okay? Because that's what the issue is. Every year, those numbers are calculated based on the revenue of the prior year of each of those projects, right? So if you go to the city budget revenue page, you'll see each one called out. You'll see 210 Main Street, we're planning, we're gonna get this much this year, here's how much we got last year. It's all there, project by project. Like, we don't include it in, these things that you're seeing here are pretty static. We know, all right, they built 250 units, so that data is gonna stay the same. What they pay each year can fluctuate, and it fluctuating or changing in a positive direction. In most cases, we're getting more than we anticipated. So the point that Albert made at the end was he said, for example, going into last year's budget, on Jim's sheet, Jim said, I'm projecting we're gonna get 2.5 or 2.2, I can't remember exactly, $1 million.
Up on the board.
Okay, all right, so, and what we actually got instead of that was, Albert, I can't see, my eyesight is great.
Sorry.
So it was what, he projected 2 point what?
2.25.
He projected 2.25, and what we actually got was
3.4 something or 3.5.
almost 3.5 million, so we got even more than we planned. Now, so going into this year's budget, based on the numbers he's seeing, he's projecting that we're gonna get over 4, right, 4 point something?
Yes, I think it's 4.4,
So this
4.5.
year, he's projecting we're gonna get like 4.5 million. And we only have, I think, I'm trying to remember your numbers, like 2,500, 2,400 units open
Correct,
And-
currently,
currently, and even just with the ones in construction, that's gonna grow to 4,200,
easily.
all right, easily. So we're maybe a little more halfway than at the 4.5 million. So this number, what we projected years ago, is we're hoping this turns into a $10 million thing, right? So that every year we're getting 10 million, and as the world changes and they make more and more money, the more money they make, the more money we make, because we're getting a percentage of their revenue. So it's something that is reported to the state, it's on the budget item, and you can click and go to that budget and see each one of the properties listed by name, by address rather, and then you'll see how much money we're planning to get. But we're getting way, way, way more than we were getting before. We're not getting this money.
100% rentals, buildings that are rented 100%.
Correct.
I think you mentioned one or two.
Right.
You know, what's,
They're all rentals because right now, this is what the market's demanding, right? So in this particular part of New Jersey or of the country, right now, what's in need are rental apartments. So you want to supply what's in demand, right? Doesn't that make sense? So when these folks, these developers come to build, when they talk to their financial institutions, they're gonna tell them, hey, you wanna borrow $90 million, $100 million, hey, we need proof that you're gonna be able to pay that off, that there's a market for what you're providing. So the market right now is in rentals. And that's proof of the pudding that these things are leasing quicker than anyone's expectation. They're opening up, and before, if you plan to have such a percentage in 2 or 3 months, we're exceeding that expectation. The ones that have been open, they're 100% leased, or 95% leased. So
but they
that's,
signed agreements that, they can just kick the can down the.
they're not kicking the can. We're planning to get $40 million this year from this. That's a considerable amount of money, and this is not going to stop, Rich. This is money, this is revenue that's gonna be a continuing revenue stream. So that's what if we didn't get it, I think what Albert was trying to say to you is if we didn't receive that money from these pilots, we have a budget to fulfill. Who's gonna pay for that? You, me, John, everybody sitting here, because we live here. So the money has to be raised. So our plan is we will raise this revenue from this revenue stream, and that is exactly what we're accomplishing. So the numbers, what we plan, when you look on that budget, you're gonna see that we're meeting that plan. And Albert, I think he's putting it up now on the budget. Right,
Yeah,
Albert?
we just have a little lag time with our.
I need to have eye surgery soon, so my vision is not as good as it
Let
should
me
be.
go back, and I don't want to be a dead horse, because they always use this example, but Rich, you're familiar with Oratani Field Club, right?
Yeah,
So that was a great thing in its day.
gone.
It's gone, but it'd been gone for years, it had been open for 10 years. It just sat there, it was blighted property. It was paying the city of Hackensack $60,000 a year. So yes, did he get a pilot agreement? Yes, absolutely. But the first year, he was at 90%, right? He started paying the city approximately $700,000 a year versus 60. So what would you rather have to help keep your taxes, with your taxes? 60,000 in revenue or 700,000?
No, I get that, I do, I'm just.
But the point I'm trying to make, if he doesn't get a pilot, that doesn't happen. No one's come to Hackensack for 30, 40 years to redevelop, right? Hackensack was so far behind the other big towns in cities in Bergen County. We're way behind. Our downtown had fallen apart, had fallen into decay. It was, half the stores were empty. Nobody was coming to Hackensack. At 5 o'clock, they pulled the shades down when all the businesses were done and everybody left. That's not the Hackensack I remember when I was young. And that's what we're trying to bring back as well, not just keep revenue down and everything else. We really want to bring the city back to a vibrant place where people are proud to come and come and go to a restaurant, buy something, whatever. So that's what our goal is. Anyone else in the public like to speak? With that said, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilman Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilman Carroll?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus?
Aye. So no Stephanie, so you're up, Kat.
Okay, I'm first. All right, so first of all, we had a really nice start to this meeting with all of our young football players. I mean, this is like the fun part of our job, getting to see all those nice, happy little faces, and congratulations to them, for winning, and you could see how proud they are, and how fortunate we are to have the fine men that were here, that are dedicating their time to these kids as coaches. And when they were doing their cheers, right, you could just see it in their faces, the relationship they have with these coaches, and it's a wonderful thing. So I can't say enough about how that always makes us, it's like a feel-good moment for some of these meetings. All right, just real quick, I always go over the stuff that's of interest to me, which is usually redevelopment stuff that's on the agenda. So tonight, we talked about 251 Railroad Avenue, that developers putting 24 affordable units there. So we're moving forward with that, and the redevelopment plan was on for approval tonight. In addition to that, we had the Sears site, we've been talking about that for a while. That needs a redevelopment investigation, so tonight we authorized that proceed and move forward. In addition to that, there was something on here that was beginning some of the work on Green Street. As everyone knows, we talk all the time about sewer separation and the work going on in the Clay Street, Anderson Street area. That was the primary focus, and that's where we had what was identified as the most difficult case in the city. And the second most difficult case was Green Street. So we had gone out and we applied for grant money. We actually got a $32 million grant to look at flooding, et cetera, on Green Street. So tonight, there's a small portion of that. We're actually starting to move into that with some early design efforts, so that's all good news. And then finally, for those of you out there in YouTube land or TV land, if you want to hear the full redevelopment presentation, I think it was very worthwhile. We thank Albert for doing the hard work for getting it done. It is on the whole thing is played on the committee of the whole meeting, which will be on YouTube shortly, and you can get the documentation online. Have a good night, everyone.
Next up.
First of all, my condolences to the people in Tennessee for the tragedy that experiment yesterday or the day before. Second, we continue working with the separations of the sewer, paving the street. We are working right now in the street Burns and Anderson Street to improve the flooding in that area. We got 2 new trucks for the PW. This is like about $600,000. And the moment that the asphalt factory they open, we're gonna start the paving in different streets in the city. The parks, they are in a schedule. They may be gonna be finished in a couple of months. The same for the dome, maybe finished by next year. And the only thing that we are doing is try to build all the facility for keep the kids off the street. Thank you for coming. Have a good night.
Thank you. Jeff?
Yeah, so I want to thank Albert again for a very sound presentation.
I'm sorry, I will say.
No, you're good, thank you so
I'm
much.
looking forward to look into it a little bit more, and again, a great job.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to hear that our parks is on schedule to continue being completed, and the sewer separation is on schedule as well. I want to thank everybody for coming. Take care. God bless.
Thank you, Jeff. I want to thank Steve Kleiman for wearing 2 hats tonight, being the clerk and the city attorney, it's not easy. Thank you for that. Thank you, Taylor, for coming out tonight and assisting us. Thanks to Frank and Albert, great presentation. Can't wait to really go through each one individually and absorb everything you put into it, but we appreciate all you did on that. Well done. Leo already mentioned the Nashville, Tennessee issue, and it's a horrible thing, and our hearts go out to the families. I mean, these school shootings are, you know, there's no explanation for it, there really isn't. I mean, they're just horrible tragedies. But the other tragedy I want to bring up, we just lost a young lady in town. I'm not sure everybody heard of the incident a little over a week ago where 5 young women were found unconscious laying on the ground in Riverside Square in the garage. Employees from the Cheesecake Factory, I guess they went outside and were probably partaking in something they shouldn't have, but that, you know, unfortunately was laced with fentanyl, which is a deadly drug which can, you know, kill you in no time. And unfortunately, this young lady, 29 years old, single mom, passed away earlier, or over this last weekend, I think it was. So, you know, our hearts go out to her little daughter, her family, her friends. You know, drug users are drug users. There's been drug users for as long as there's been drugs. But, you know, people go out to have a good time and they make a mistake and they do that. It doesn't mean they should die because somebody poisoned it with a drug that they didn't even know they were getting. Fentanyl is a poison. I look at it as a poison. And it's, you know, it's getting worse and worse and worse. The way it's coming into this country, it's relatively cheap. It comes out of China. You know, comes across our southern border, obviously in large amounts, because the amount of fentanyl deaths in the United States is unbelievable. I think it's up to close to 30,000 a year of mostly young Americans who die from fentanyl overdoses. It's gotten to the point now where police, while Narcanning, people who overdose on drug may get some of this stuff on their skin and they overdose on it. That's how potent it is. If it just gets on your skin, it could be absorbed in, and you could be actually in trouble just from touching it. So, you know, I know Steffi's very much on the same page as I am with this, and most of the council is, I'm sure, about getting this drug off the streets. It's not going to be easy, but you know, it's a countrywide scourge right now that needs to be dealt with. So our hearts go out to all the people involved in that. These families out in Nashville, out in Tennessee, our hearts go out to them, and yeah, hopefully, you know, there's no more school shootings, but it's a big ask today with what's going on. So everybody get home safely, all right? Your family's hugs, all right? Thank you, have a wonderful night. Motion to close. All in favor? Aye.